Halal prasadam at Sabrimala triggers a storm. Spit-free food campaign goes viral. Kerala BJP seeks a ban on halal culture. Court seeks report on halal prasadam. Halal food controversy spits fire in Kerala. The Kerala halal food war is our top focus on the show. An online campaign for spit-free food has led to huge outrage and a controversy across Kerala. A list circulating online and on WhatsApp groups for spit-free food being served at restaurants has gone viral. There's also a petition in court seeking directions to the Sabrimala shrine to use only high-quality raw material to prepare prasadam after reports of jaggery with halal markings being used to prepare the prasadam at the shrine went viral. Certain restaurants also received queries whether they served tuppal biryani and tuppal shawarma. Tuppal in Malayalam means spit. This clearly is no laughing matter. We will get you more on the show. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started with the headlines. Politics erupts the day Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays the foundation stone at the Jewar airport. Akhilesh Yadav says BJP builds airports only to sell them. Rajnath Singh and Yogi Adityanath hit back with the Jinnah jibe at the Samajwadi Party chief. Big setback to the Congress. Rahul Gandhi fails to placate former Meghalaya Chief Minister Mukul Sangma as he, along with 11 other MLAs, join Mamta Banerjee's Trinamool Congress. India Today is the first channel to track down and speak to Parambir Singh, the former Maharashtra top cop, grilled for over 6 hours. This, as sources hint at Parambir Singh may be suspended. In Punjab, war of Sardars escalates. Navjot Singh Sidhu asks the Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi to publicize the drug menace and the sacrilege incident report be made public. Threatens a hunger strike if these demands are not met. Flood mayhem in Tamil Nadu's Thoothukudi district. Several localities inundated, roads waterlogged. Met Department issues a red alert. A full-blown halal food war is raging across Kerala. First, a petition in court seeking directions that only high-quality ingredients be used to make prasadam at the Sabrimala shrine after a report that jaggery with halal markings were used to make the prasadam. Then, a list has gone viral online giving details of restaurants that serve spit-free food. The BJP has started a campaign seeking a ban on the halal food culture. Rickson Uman brings us more from Kerala.
It started a few days ago in Kerala after it was discovered that halal certified jaggery was used in Sabrimala this season to make the temple's prasad. And since then, all hell has broken loose in Kerala's political battlefield. After a concerted social media storm that included viral claims that the Muslim clergy spits on halal food as a religious practice, things have simply snowballed into an all-out halal war in God's own country. Last week, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad moved the Kerala High Court, which has now sought a report on this halal jaggery claim. But on Kerala's streets, various community leaders have spoken out non-stop, goading on an uninterrupted social media campaign against Muslim-owned restaurants in the state. On Sunday, things intensified, with senior BJP state leaders declaring that halal was a social evil just like triple talaq.
ഹലാൽ സംസ്കാരം ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിന് പിന്നിൽ കൃത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അജണ്ടയുണ്ട്. ജനങ്ങളെ ഭിന്നിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ജനങ്ങളെ തമ്മിലടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന അതിവേഗം സിറിയയിലേക്ക് നടന്നെടുക്കാനുള്ള പ്ലാനാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. അതിനെതിരായിട്ടുള്ള നിലപാടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ സ്വീകരിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്.
This video of a Muslim man spitting into cooked food resurfaced on social media earlier this month, weaponized in the war against halal to rekindle debates around alleged unhygienic practices followed by some Muslim groups. It instantly sparked a spit-free food campaign with Christian groups actively spreading lists of hotels owned by non-Muslims through social media. For instance, Soldiers of Cross, a prominent group on social media, has started sharing lists of hotels in various localities claiming to serve spit and mucus-free food. The lists are being widely circulated through WhatsApp, Facebook and other social media, further emphasizing the claimed spitting culture by certain Muslim groups and polarizing communities sharply. This has forced several Muslim groups to clarify that the spitting or blowing culture was restricted to very select groups and is not by any means a widespread practice.
हलाल को समझना चाहिए. हलाल के माने शुद्ध के होते हैं और शुद्ध कोई भी चीज़ हो तो उसके लिए किसी तरह से किसी को आपत्ति नहीं होती है. शुद्ध को भी अगर राजनीति से जोड़ लेंगे तो शायद ये मुझे लगता है कि इस पर सोचने और विचार करने की ज़रूरत है.
Dr. Suhaib Molavi, the Imam of the Palayam Mosque, released a statement saying that the Prophet has said one should never blow into food and denounced the practice captured in the viral videos. But given the vicious communal form the story has taken, the ruling CPM in Kerala had to step in.
What Sangha Parivar is trying to do in Kerala, divide people on the basis of different food habits, it is unacceptable, it is reprehensible. The people of Kerala are not going to accept this.
Meanwhile, Kerala's famous Paragon group of restaurants based in Kozhikode, who made it to the list of good restaurants, has ended up filing a complaint with the cyber cell when things actually turned against them. And they've since denounced the lists being circulated.
രണ്ട് മതവിഭാഗങ്ങളുടെ പ്രസ്താവനകളായിട്ട് സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ കൂടെ പ്രചരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇതൊക്കെ ആസൂത്രിതമായിട്ട് ചില കുബുദ്ധികൾ പടച്ചുവിടുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. ആ വ്യാപാര മേഖലയിൽ ഒരു അസന്തുഷ്ടി സൃഷ്ടിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു കൂട്ടരുടെ ശ്രമം, അതിനെതിരെ ശക്തമായ നടപടി വേണമെന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ സർക്കാരിനോട് ആവശ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്.
The war over halal in God's own country continues to rage.
After halal controversy in Kerala's spit-free food campaign, this time spread by Christian groups, are creating cracks in the harmonious coexistence. The Muslim-owned hotels, while yet to feel the economic or business-wise impact of the campaign, ends up receiving excessive queries about the food preparation in their hotels, while others receive queries including the religion of their cook, to say the least. With camera person Tiggu Rajashekaran, Rick Sinuman reporting for India Today.
So a viral video online has sparked off a heated war of words and a digital campaign in Kerala for spit-free food. It is being written about and eyebrows are being raised over this list of restaurants being circulated that serve spit-free food. Some reports say that the list is being circulated by Soldiers of Cross, a Christian group. Others argue that the RSS and the BJP are at the forefront of another campaign to polarize people in God's own country. Joining me on India First are VP Sri Padmanabhan, spokesperson Kerala BJP. PC George is a leader of the Kerala Janpaksam. Saira Shah Halim is a writer and activist. And Sri Padmanabhan ji, I want to come to you first. VP Sri Padmanabhan, I want to understand from you, what is this spit-free food campaign all about? Is it, sir, based on some unverified viral video?
No, the controversy which has now come up, that has been there because of, for the past few years, we can see suddenly halal hotels coming up everywhere in Kerala. See, in Kerala, there is a culture of community dining. There is no discrimination on the basis of eating habits or food culture. People from all community are running or managing hotels. And people from all community visits or goes to those hotels to consume food, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, and everything. Nobody is bothered about who owns the hotel or who runs the hotel. You can see.
Then what is the problem with the halal label, sir?
Okay, I will come. See, you can see large number of Muslim people from Muslim and Christian community going to Brahmin hotels to have vada, dosha, etc. And in the same manner, Muslim community have excelled in hotel business. Christian community has also got large number of hotels. There is no problem. See, till few years, there was no issue of halal or something like that. But suddenly, past few years, we have seen suddenly new generation hotels, not those old hotels. Hotels which are running for 100 years, 70 years, 60 years, not those hotels, but new generation hotels have started coming up with halal boards. We don't know why. Suddenly, this is a trend. Kerala, everywhere, in highways, on the side of the highways, in bypasses, in cities, even in rural areas, suddenly halal hotels. See, not just halal hotels, halal flats. Recently, 2 years ago, there was a same issue because one real estate group suddenly they gave an advertisement in all leading newspapers and media of Kerala stating that they are building a new flat complex somewhere in central Kerala and it is halal flats. What is this halal flats?
Okay.
So many other products, not just
So,
eatables or food items.
I'll come back to you, because there are some clerics who say halal means should or pure. What's wrong with halal food being mentioned at a restaurant? But let me bring in PC George. Sir, what more can you tell us about this spit-free campaign that is being run, and some say it's being run by soldiers of the cross, Mr. George?
You don't know why these Muslims calling these halal hotels, why they are conducting these halal hotels? For what purpose they are using these halal plates? India is a secular nation, no. Any caste, any creed can do anything. But one thing, there's no difference between caste and creeds.
Okay.
Muslims, anyway, now some Muslims are conducting their hotels as halal hotels. There's no difference between other hotels also. They are giving some separate thinking about our communal harmony. That is all.
No, but how does a halal label take away from communal harmony is what I'm trying to understand, point one. And tell me more about soldiers of cross and this list that's going viral online about restaurants that serve spit-free food.
They are conducting the halal cottage. India, I know India is harming India. Yes, India is like a secular nation. There's no difference between Hindus. So, Hindus are growing majority in India. But they have no difference with Christians or Muslims or Sikhs or any community. So why they are going with the Muslims conducting halal hotels? There's no reason. They must remove that halal name from the hotels. Anybody can enter in the hotel. The Muslims also come other hotels, Brahmin hotels or Christian hotels. They must go and eat food.
Let me bring in Saira Shah Halim. Saira Shah Halim, when you come to this aspect of this list that's circulating online, there is a video that's viral. It's unverified. Is there any ritual in any sect or cult, as some have argued, of either blowing into food or spitting into food? Is there any ritual called the Fatiha Jalana, if I may?
There is no such ritual that is prescribed that one has to spit. So I think the spitting rumor is just a communal, touch. Yeah, a lot of people blow straight into the food. This is like to say, you are kind of cleansing the food of any impurity, but definitely nobody spits at the food. The spitting at food is just a rumor which is being circulated by troublemongers. There's no such rule where one has to spit into the food. I'll make it very, very amply clear. And regarding halal, I
in
was
no
just telling
sect
the
of
discussion-
Islam does any cleric or any religious leader in no sect whatsoever. There's nothing called Fatiha Jalana or no spitting
nothing like
into
that.
food.
No. And even when I heard this gentleman talking about halal, I'll make it very clear. Halal is not just related to the meat. It is in reference to the food. It is the dietary standard that is prescribed in the scriptures. And everyone knows that the opposite of halal is haram. So technically halal means anything that is pure, anything that is permissible. I know a lot of other people from the majority community who are looking at halal cosmetics because that is devoid of animal fat. So a lot of people from the majority have asked me, what do you, where can I purchase halal cosmetics, something that has not been tested by animals. So I think there needs to be more knowledge, more information on the concept of halal. Now, I really don't understand why people are having so many issues, why a particular political party is, going communal. If a seller is putting up a hoarding outside that this meat is halal, it is of benefit of both people who want to avoid halal and people who want to purchase halal meat. Because the seller does not want to any ambivalence. Because today, I think anybody who's selling food, they make it very clear that this is gluten-free, this is low on cholesterol, this is this and this is that. So people, if they're selling food, they need to be very clear on what they are selling. So
VP Sri Padmanabhan, Mr. Padmanabhan, Sri Padmanabhan, I want to understand from you. So Saira Shah Halim says, you see a restaurant that says halal food. If you don't want it, don't eat there. Why say take away or take off the halal label? For example, if you were to put jhatka label at any restaurant, maybe if Muslims don't want to eat there, they will not eat there, sir.
Now I will call her attention to the tweet of Shri Subhashini Ali, a former CPM MP. You know what happened today? Yesterday, the CPM people conducted a street food festival in Kerala in protest of mixing religion with food. And in that festival, one place they put halal food board. And today, Subhashini Ali has asked, who is a former CPM MP, to these CPM people, why did you put that board? If you were against mixing religion with politics, why did you put that halal
So
board?
since she's not on the broadcast, let's not talk about her. Let's talk about the issue in general, sir. If you don't want to eat at a restaurant that serves halal food, don't go there. Why say take off the board?
Okay. In that case, what will happen? Two friends, one happens to be a Hindu and one happens to be a Muslim, go to a town. There are two hotels. One is a halal hotel and another is a non-halal hotel. So the Hindu is supposed to go to the non-halal hotel and the Muslim is supposed to go to the halal hotel. You are dividing people on the basis of food. Why do you keep boards in hotels which are open for general public? In those hotels and restaurants which is open for general public, why do you keep the board? You can serve halal food. That is your right, your democratic right. You can take halal food.
Sir, it's a democratic right not to eat there if you don't want to. It's as simple as that. The allegation is that this is just a desperate attempt to create communal disharmony. If you don't want to eat halal food, if it goes against your religious sensitivities, don't eat there. But PC George, let me put that question. On that issue of soldiers of cross circulating or said to be circulating this video as is being alleged. Sir, if there is one unverified video about someone spitting into food, why call up Muslim restaurants or restaurants that have this halal board and say, do you have tuppal biryani or do you serve tuppal shawarma? Why do this, Mr. George? Okay, let me try and reestablish that link with PC George in just a moment. But Saira Shah Halim, I once again want to come back to this aspect on insistence of halal label on food. If some insist it's wrong, If some say they don't want it, why should it be there in, as Mr. Sri Padmanabhan says, in places where everyone goes to eat? It may be mandatory for Muslims, it's not mandatory for others.
No, so that's what I'm saying. So in a way, it clears on ambivalence. Those who want to avoid halal like the plague, please by all means avoid it. There shouldn't be any ambivalence if there is some kind of a label. So if you want to avoid it, by all means avoid it. Now, it is also of convenience to the people who insist on eating only halal. So that will clear their ambivalence also. If they have any doubts in their mind, they can go ahead and eat it. So I feel there are better things that we can, concentrate upon. We've seen the hunger index, we've seen the unemployment index, and I don't understand why this particular political party only latches on to communal issues. I think this is being done to create disharmony amongst different sections of society, and it's really, really tragic. Because we can, put our
VP Sri Padmanabhan, please respond, sir. Please respond. This is being done. This is being done only to create communal disharmony in Kerala, because there are several people who say that whether it's Mallapuram or it's Kozhikode, for a very long time, for decades, these halal restaurants have been there, so they may have spread to some other parts. If you don't like it, don't eat there.
Okay. See, she's saying that we are trying to communalize Kerala. See, whether she knows that Kerala is the state from where the largest number of IS recruits were made. Yesterday, the NIA court, special court of Ernakulam, convicted one Mr. Hamsafar. You know what is the offence? He recruited 14 persons from Kerala, one district, Kasaragod district alone, to Syria. You know what happened? 2 families just vanished. 2 families, husband, wife, kids, just vanished from Kasaragod. Nobody knows where they are. Whether they are.
What does that have to do with halal food and halal label and spit-free food campaign, sir?
No, this is the issue. Some radical elements are trying to create problems in Kerala by bringing new halal hotels. What she said is wrong. I have seen many Muslim hotels in Kozhikode for the past 30 or 40 years. Not a single hotel which are functioning for decades have got halal board. Suddenly, new generation hotels have started coming up with an agenda with halal boards. I can name Muslim hotels of Kozhikode working, which are functioning for decades with no halal boards. But they are serving halal food. Let Muslims go there and eat halal food. We have no issue. But now suddenly new hotels, from where they are coming, these persons, radical elements of this society, are trying to create problems.
Sir, that be the case, then that's a law and order situation and the police should get involved. That be the case, that should be your campaign, not a campaign against halal food in restaurants or halal labels in restaurants. Be that as it may. Saira Shah Halim, okay, halal meat, understandable. Halal jaggery, and that too at the Sabrimala shrine. Now, the complainant says that they want to ensure that what they get is what they want and they don't want halal jaggery.
Okay, so I'll make it very clear, and I'm iterating once again that halal and harams are just not relegated to the Muslims. It's a universal term that applies to all facets of life, and this is a term that is commonly used in relation
in Islam,
to food products.
Halal food, or what is not halal doesn't automatically become haram, Saira Shah Halim. It may for Muslims, but not for others.
So I'll tell you something, halal, haram is not just a Muslim term. I'm saying this is used for all facets in life. It's related to food products, also meat products, cosmetics, personal care products, pharmaceuticals, different food ingredients and food contact materials. And I'll make it very clear, it's just not religious. It's again a dietary standard. And I know of a lot of people,
fair enough.
And
So,
everybody
Sri
who
Padmanabhan,
buy halal cosmetics.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You made that point about halal cosmetics. And Mr. Padmanabhan, instead of this leading to a communal situation, would it not be better that in case you think it is not correct, you stop yourself from going to those places instead of making an issue out of this?
See, Now she was talking about food. This is something related to food. What about halal flats? What about the advertisement given by a real estate group which became a big issue in Kerala 2 years ago? Halal flats. What is this halal flats? There are some other products which I don't want to name. I have seen advertisements online media.
If you cannot name it, let's not name it on the broadcast, but this does remain an issue that has been flagged up. It remains to be seen what comes of it. We'll track that story. But to both my guests, many thanks for joining me. A quick break here on India First. Coming up on the other side, foreign investors bet big on Paytm, and details on the other side of a quick break on our special show, Business Today with Abha Bakaya.